Welcome to the Dreams of Consciousness podcast. If you'd be so kind, would you mind introducing yourself?
Here is Bar-Gal from Pylar, a Spanish band that made some psychedelic stream, doom, and slow metal.
Do you feel like your music is very much in the doom metal realm, or do you feel like you're verging more into the experimental music realm?
It's a good question because we are all time talking about that because we love extremely slow music and doom metal, of course, but we are all interested in a lot of different styles of music. Some of them experimental, but some of them not some of them. But we like to describe our music like really experimental because our real goal, like a band, is to take metal to some unknown places in a way that we can make the listener to listen to some sounds that he or she didn't listen before.
And Bar-Gal, what is your role in Pilar?
I one of the main writers and I play mainly guitar, but we can change instruments. We are a really experimental band in that way. And sometimes I usually play synths, keyboards, and wind instruments, bass guitar. It depends on the song.
Now, do you write most of the music yourself?
Usually I start with a lot of ideas, but I work a lot of that ideas with my bandmates. And Pilar is a collective effort. I see it in a really democratic way, in that way of working. We work and listen and work and re-listen the music we are writing until we get the goal we are looking for, and it's a collective effort. All of us are deep in writing in music.
Now, I should mention that you're based in Spain, and maybe people know that you guys, the members of your band, are also in several other groups in the area.
Yeah, we are related with some of other experimental bands. We know a lot of bands here in the south of Spain, Andalusia or Seville, that is our city. And we got a deep friendship with a lot of bands, and we are here from other bands and that are experimental, and we play in other bands, but we are really focused on Pilar right now.
Can you tell me a little bit about how Pilar was formed and what your intentions were originally?
We are a band that like to be in the anonymity because we think it makes more interesting our music. Our identities are not so important, and that way we can maybe adopt some roles, some masks. That way of being in the band, it's more interesting for us. And
When you say mask, you mean literally mask, right? You wear masks when you perform?
I'm talking literally and not literally. We wear a mask when we perform, but not like other bands that I really enjoy or like. I mean that we are trying to be really related the mask with the music in the way that we can adopt what we feel more comfortable in that moment. If you can change reality with your aspect, you can change what somebody is watching, and you can have a deeper way of experiencing music. But I said that not literally. I'm talking about masks because we are in the band all the time trying not to be trying to follow the regular way of being in a band. I am the guitar player, you are the bass player, and you are the drummer, and we play some riffs and we make songs. And not the way we want to change that. Every one of us can adopt some different roles in different moments. So the music is really changing all the time, and that is what we are looking for. In regard to our music goals, as I said before, we are trying to explore metal mainly in the slower part, slower styles, and trying to reach some and explore territories in metal. Fast music is really sometimes needs to focus on technique because of this nature, but slow music it adapts to us really well because you can experiment with it a lot. You can put a lot of ingredients of different musics that we enjoy, and you can reach those unknown territories that I talked before.
For the bandmates that you found to form Pilar, can you tell me how or why you chose the people that you chose to work with?
We reached and we gathered together because we wanted to start a new project and really focus on experimental music. We listened to a lot of really extreme bands, and we wanted to add some extra flavor, a special flavor in doom music or slow music that we felt that it was taking, not going so forward like extreme music, maybe bands like in death metal like Portal, or in black metal like Bloodhouse North or Deathspell Omega, that they, because they are the bands that we follow in like an inspiration, taking guitar to some places that are not common. So in slow music, I was looking people to add to a band to get a slow band that really was, and it was really original. That's why, because we got a French horn, really mighty winds, metal winds, and we got violin or mandolin or synths. We got extra percussions, really strange and original singer. All of my bandmates are there because they are comfortable with our goal of reaching a really original metal sound.
Now, do your other bandmates also come from a similar background or similar interest in the kind of metal that you mentioned? These more atmospheric or experimental black metal and doom metal bands?
Yes,
Or do they come from other music scenes?
they are really, all of us are really into metal, but some of them are studied their instruments in an academic way, not like me. I'm a normal heavy metal fan, and that way is more interesting because we can change our music visions. Our different music practice, our different way of seeing music, and we mix them together to get an original sound, like I said before.
Can you tell me a little bit about how a song comes together for Pilar?
It's really cool for me because working on Pilar, it's really different to other bands that I played before or that I'm playing, because it's not like writing some riffs, gathering all of them together to make a song. In Pilar, we got some songs just with drums and vocals, or just winds, or violin and guitar, or some synths and noises. And some of them are more abstract, and some of them are more focused on what we all understand like doom metal, and it depends on the song. The sound is really different. All our discography, it's really different one albums from others, and there are some relation within them, of course, but we are always trying to do something new.
So, if I understand correctly, with each album, the intention is to be different from the previous one?
Yes. We don't like to repeat ourselves, and we think and there are still some interesting ideas to check out there, and we are looking for them all the time, trying to do something new. It change. It depends on the album because we got some different goals on every album, and we got like a scheme that we follow, and that mark that guide the way we write every song on that album.
Now, when you write music, do you start with all of you in the room together?
Yes and no, because sometimes we are rehearsing together and we improvise, and we got some interesting ideas because we record every rehearse that we do, and we later listen to them, looking for the best part to get them work later, to get to work again in that parts later. But sometimes some of us bring some ideas, and then we can play that idea all together in the rehearsal room.
And when are you happy with a song? When do you know that a song is complete?
It's a funny question for us because we start working with a limit, with a date. We establish date when we are going to record the album, maybe 8 months, 1 year, 6 months, and we start working with that date on mind. And some of the songs are finished just when we play it, when we record the album. That's the final form of the song that they are going to change again if we play them live. But some of our songs are really long with a lot of improvisation on them, and they got maybe a raw scheme that we follow, but we sometimes don't know how long are going to be in that song, or how many parts or how many improvisation is going to be. It's really different each time.
And would you say that improvisation is a big part of your sound?
Yes, we write a lot of the parts and we talk about them a lot, but every time we play them, they change all the time. So that means that drummer has got his drum parts on mind, but he play them different every time. Maybe some riffs are fixed, but I can change them if the rest of us are going to a different place. Some ideas that we got, it's like first part or A or B, C, D, and we know where we are going, but we don't know how long are going to take or the final shape of that part.
Are you ever surprised by a song at the end?
Yes, we are lucky because we are really happy with the finished result of all our albums. And some of the songs, the best time that we played it was on the album. So it's a risk, but we'd like to take that risk.
Now, for parts that are improvised on the album, is it difficult, or what is your approach to playing the music live? Do you let the the songs evolve on stage, or do you try to make it as similar to the album version as possible?
And some of them are really similar to the album because we played it that way. But some gigs that we played are like we are going to make an intro, an improvisation, and when we finish, that we really don't know when it's going to be. We start with the first track or the first composition, and when we finish it, we try to link to the second one, maybe with improvisation again. And we got maybe 3 or 4 songs because we try to play all the gigs like a long suite with no pauses. And there is a lot of like, we conceive Pilar like an ensemble or a little orchestra. And we are looking for like a ritual not to stop music after every song, so can everybody clap their hands as now we are looking for playing the whole gig like a whole composition that is changing every night or every time we play.